would you, if you had, say, 3 or 4 steps that you could suggest to anybody to start the process of a pattern interrupt, what would you suggest?
Well, I would say then that one of the pieces here is to ensure that you're really clear about your base vision for your life and who it is that you really are. Certainly with my business advising coaching clients, that's really the place that we start. And so, sort of this in general, then my sort of 4-step game plan, if you will, for how to help people express their greatness to the world and be able to literally create a pattern interrupt before it even happens. Would be to actually go through and start with vision. That's always my first step, because I contend that from within each one of us, Dan, as you just alluded to, there is a vision, there is a calling, there is a something inside of us that innately wants to express itself. I contend that all living things have an innate desire to express, like a moth always wants to fly to a light, a salmon always wants to go up the same stream, a goose always wants to fly south every winter. It's just, there's an innate desire to express in a certain way. And I contend that's not unique to just our animal and feathered and finned friends, but in fact it's true of each one of us. So the question then for me, and I pose to my clients, is how can we actually connect to that part of you, that most authentic part of you that wants to express from that place? And literally one of the keys to this, Dan, is to go back in and do what I call a core values analysis, where we can go in and do that experiential exercise of defining who we are and who we're not. Because once you get that clarity about your core values, I would offer that everybody is always expressing and experiencing life from their core values, even if they haven't actually defined them. So if you can actually define that and bring it to consciousness, it allows us to then go through life consciously intending our lives and setting forth that law of attraction intention we talked about to attract the kind of life experiences and things that we want to attract, to have, and do in our lives, versus having those crazy, chaotic things that sometimes our subconscious mind attracts when we're not focused on what it is we really want to intend. So to me, Dan, that always is step one, is to get that clarity about who you are, who you're not, and what your vision for your life is, how you want to express yourself holographically as a result of that. And the reason I bring up the term holographic, Dan, is because I contend that life is holographic. That every part of our life is interconnected, that our physical lives and our mental lives and our family lives and our careers and our spiritual life and our social life and our financial life, it's all a beautiful intertwined whole. And so setting goals, for example, in your career that has you working an 80-hour work week when your highest core value is family, I mean, it
doesn't work. Yeah.
It doesn't work, Dan, right? I mean, obviously, and because you're being at odds with your value systems, with your highest values. So once we've got that clarity about this vision and this clarity about who we are, well, then the next question, or the next step, or the next principle for me, Dan, is what I call the focus blocks. What are the things that are in the way of actually manifesting that vision that is this innate desire to express and experience, from a core level? What is it that's in the way? One of the things that I used to teach my clients in my chiropractic practice was, once we helped them understand and taught them that the body is self-healing and self-maintaining and self-regulating, my very next question to them, because usually they're in with some sort of a symptom, my question to them is, if that's true, and we know it is, that the body's self-healing, self-maintaining, self-regulating, what the heck are you doing here? Because if the body's self-healing, self-regulating, self-maintaining, why should you be here? The body should just be self-correcting and self-healing. And of course, the answer, Dan, as you're probably well aware, is because there's something interfering with that natural organic process of self-healing, self-regulation.
Yeah, there's a block somewhere that they can't do it. Yep.
Absolutely, Dan, right? Which is, to me, the purpose of chiropractic is to help remove those blocks. Well, in my role now as a coach business advisor, Dan, that's really what I look for now, and that second pillar is, what are the blocks or the obstacles that are interfering with that natural organic process of expressing your innate essence and vision for your life, to the world? Just like, unless you put a dam in the way of a salmon, it's going upstream every time. It's always going up the same stream. So what are the blocks? What are the dams? And so that would be another principle or aspect to this, in my opinion, would be, looking for those blocks, obstacles that are in the way. The third piece then, Dan, as we move forward in terms of this expression part, is what are the systems that are needed to be built into your life and or your business in order to allow that vision to be supported? And then the final step, or the fourth step of my pillars, and my recommendations or a view of life, is what is the team that's needed to support that vision and the manifestation, of that vision. And the bigger the vision, Dan, the bigger the team. And, one of my sort of simple cliches is, Bill Gates doesn't answer his own phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a pretty big vision and he's got a pretty big team. And, when he was heading Microsoft, I was, understanding he was, there were 80,000 people under the banner of the Microsoft banner, because he had a pretty big vision for the world. He wanted to see a desktop computer in every family home in the world. And so again, the bigger the vision, the bigger the team. So that didn't directly answer the question, Dan, but it sort of helps, hopefully, with the audience to frame a four-step process that they can use to help express more of their authentic greatness to the world and basically keep on track, so the need for pattern interrupts is less.